Welcome to the fourth season of Chat with the Chair. I'm your host, Kevin Foley, CFMA's 2023-24 chair. And as a former Jeopardy champion, this season's format, Chat with the Chair episodes, follow a Jeopardy-themed format. In today's episode, I'm excited to welcome Neil Shah, who is new president and CEO of CFMA. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you, Kevin. It's great to finally be on board after what seems like a long transition. I'm thrilled to be here at CFMA, and I'm honored to be joining you for this episode of Chat with the Chair.
Well, it's great to have you here. Best of luck. Hope we're all helping you out enough. We will start now in our questioning, and the board is yours. So what would you like to select for your category?
How about straight out of construction for 1,000, please?
Okay, and the answer is Hartford steam boiler.
Wow. So where did I get my first exposure to the construction industry? Back in the late 1990s, after spending about a decade in aerospace, I joined a facility management technology startup that was part of what I'll call as an entrepreneurship with Hartford Steam Boilers equipment breakdown insurance business. We're piloting a platform with a large video retailer that was all over North America, about 5,000 different locations, and they had no idea what their retrofit costs would be, or what they had in terms of what they needed to retrofit. So we used our technology that was really created for managing facilities to help establish a scope of work for the retrofits, identify the best vendors, and ran that across each of their 5,000 locations. And that really earned us the credibility and trust, leading to a long-term relationship with that retailer. And it was essentially the launch pad for our business that we eventually sold to a Fortune 500 energy services company. But it's where I first got exposure to the construction industry.
Well, that's kind of an interesting thing to say. Okay, that makes getting to CFMA kind of an interesting progress. How did you close that gap?
It's a good question. I got because we grew this emerging growth company, I got the startup bug. So I worked with a number of different emerging growth technology outsourcing businesses, and including ones in real estate. I was recruited to be part of the Americas leadership team for the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, another member-centric organization. And it's really where my interest in construction started to develop. For the last 13 years, we dealt with project managers, cost consultants, we call them quantity surveyors, developers of significant projects like the ones in New York City, Hudson Yards and One Vanderbilt, to name a few. And really, construction's been resilient over that period, and it's really impacting markets and global economies and critical to the creation of space. So, construction industry professionals create space where we live, work, and play. They manage 70% of the world's balance sheet, and being at CFMA, construction financial managers have such an opportunity to have a significant impact on those assets. So, I think I've got the bug. So I'm in all the way.
Well, that's where we are. So glad to have you here, and pretty interesting experience that brings you to us. So we're going to go back to the board now and see what would you like to pick for your next category and dollar figure.
Well, I think food fight for 600, please.
Okay, that's been an interesting category so far. The answer is simply cooking.
Well, what is one of my favorite hobbies? Besides playing golf, which I don't get to do enough, and traveling with the family, which is never enough, I love the idea of cooking, coming up with something from a whole host of different ingredients. It's very much like being part of a business or a team. People or ingredients come in different shapes and sizes. Mixing those flavors together, getting the chemistry right, leading to a great experience that's on the plate. It's kind of like the diversity in our organization that leads to a great CFMA experience. So for me personally, the experimentation that comes with cooking and working with your hands, it gives you such a different perspective on things. And it's probably where I do some of my best thinking.
Well, yeah, different use of the brain. In your copious free time when you get to cook, what is it your favorite types of food to make?
Yeah, I love making just about anything. And by the way, that free time is hard to come by these days. But
Yeah.
I love spices. Anything with some heat on it, I'm partial to. So I love making, my wife's Italian, so I like making Italian food. I'm Indian, I love making Indian food, classic barbecue, or even a traditional pot roast. It's all part of that experience.
Yeah, I would agree with you. If the spice is done right, doesn't overwhelm the flavor, and I love like a Thai heat and some sweet together in the mix can really make for some great flavors. But
Love
hey,
it.
I'll
I
take
love it.
Italian food any day of the week too. Yeah. All right, Neil. So now we get to your last category here. How about picking something else from the board here?
Well, since I've started at CFMA 4 weeks ago, I've been doing a lot of work, work, work. So I'm going to take work, work, work for 800.
Okay. This answer is happy members stay members. Happy members get new members, and happy staff make members happy.
Well, that's the phrase that best describes what I think is a sustainable approach for a growing CFMA. It's clearly, something that I like to really impart on the business.
Okay, so yeah, I know I heard you use that phrase earlier in the year when we met. So can you elaborate a little bit about your plans in that area?
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I didn't invent it. It's one of my former chairs at RICS, and we built a member staff partnership to actually deliver that. We wanted the notion of brand ambassadorship to not only apply to members, but to the overall member staff partnership model. You know, the CCIFP credential different and membership in CFMA differentiates an individual with their clients, with their firms, with their stakeholders, but member engagement and satisfaction leads to retention. So thus happy members stay members. So really focusing on ways of driving engagement and retention. And that loyalty tends to build advocacy. So if you're happy being part of this community, you're going to try to get other like-minded professionals to be part of CFMA. And none of that is possible without having a staff that's engaged, that's satisfied, that's committed to the mission, vision, and values of the organization. Thus, happy staff make members happy. So it's quite a simple approach, but when it's executed well, it can lead to an organization that we're all proud of, members, staff, stakeholders alike.
Well, and certainly members of CFMA, if they're actually spending time watching this, I think will understand that and how committed our members alone are to the association and how the staff has been a great support to us over the years. So
we're in this
you know,
together. We're in this together.
and we certainly saw some happiness about 2 weeks ago at this point, because there was a lot of energy at the annual conference, and that was quite an introduction for you. And glad you were able to experience that.
I couldn't have asked for a better introduction to CFMA.
Okay, so now it's time for Final Jeopardy, and you currently have $2,400. So how much do you plan to wager on this category? And the Final Jeopardy
Ooh,
category is going to be CFMA.
wow. Let's hope I get this one right. Kevin, let's go all in.
Okay, and the answer is we have the total number of CFMA chapters at present.
The total number. What is 99?
Bingo, you got it, Neil. You've doubled your money that you're not actually receiving, but I I did want to. You've had so many things thrown at you and so many numbers and figures. I wondered whether or not that one lastly had stuck in your head. So I figured I'd give you a shot at it. I know we've talked about a lot of things and educating you about the association at this point, and glad you were able to get that one exactly right.
How could I forget, right? So there's some key figures that I want to make sure are embedded in everything that we do. So I'm really, really excited to be here, Kevin. I'm honored to be part of Chat with the Chair, but honored to be part of the CFMA community. So thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome, Neil, and certainly members. Quite a few of our members actually got to meet you as you covered the conference floor 2 weeks ago pretty well, and I think you met about 1,800 people just alone there. I'm also going to mention to people for some of the regional conferences that presently you're looking to attend. I believe 3 of them this year.
Yes, so I'm going to be going to Galloway, New Jersey for the Mid-Atlantic Conference, then heading over to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the Southwest Conference, and then Dallas for the Lone Star Conference. So I can't wait to meet more members and really get a good understanding of what we can do together.
Well, that's terrific, Neil, and I appreciate you're getting out there to meet the members, but more even appreciate the effort that you're taking to learn and understand our association, what makes us tick, and what we value for our experience. And again, welcome to our community. Hope you have a fantastic year ahead. And again, thank you for being part of the Chat with the Chair this time. Really enjoyed getting a chance to catch up.
Thank you, Kevin. Look forward to working with you.
Okay, take care.